round 1, I got paired into a Azuri and got shredded to death.
Literally.
That was the joke, Bailey. That one.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on episode 31 of Big Deck Energy. I'm Josh Lucian, one of the hosts. Joined with me today is Bailey Hilton, Tyler Barrett, and Ben Clifford. We're going to be doing our episode where we bring in some people from the community and ask them questions about their fab career, how they got into it, what they like most about it, and where they started. We'll also be diving into some of the RTN results and also the Battle Harden results of this past weekend. But why don't we dive right into this episode, gents? How's everybody's week? How was cards? How was fab?
Well, Bailey, I think, maybe was the only one who played in an armory. Am I correct, Bailey, in that?
Yeah, unless Cliff somehow snuck into one, I'm the only one that played in an armory this week. Cliff, did you play in an armory this week?
Can't forget about Cliff. I just always figure he doesn't.
Playing Western Armory, which it kind of felt like, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This feels weird. I'm the only one that played in an armory this week.
Yeah.
I went 2-1. Back on Azalea. I finally made the changes to my deck that I've been meaning to. I finally put Bullseye Bracers back into it.
Oh my god.
So I don't have to use that shitty ass Toxic Tips. Which feels phenomenal. No, that card's trash in Azalea. Don't even say hey. Get out of here. But no, so finally back on that. Back on the Memorial Grounds package, just to help with bringing back Judge, Jury, Executioner. With it only being legendary.
Are you running the Barbed Undertows?
I am.
Because that's a good one with
now.
Memorial Ground with having, or requiring the aim counter.
Yeah.
And that card's pretty strong against like some of your bad matchups.
It's not bad.
It's good against Guardians and shit.
I don't know. I might relegate them to the sideboard.
Yeah.
There's somewhere.
I usually bring a couple in.
Good, but I don't know. I'm still kind of feeling things out with it.
Hell yeah.
Seeing where we can go from where we're at right now. But
Yeah.
it's feeling good. It's feeling consistent. I don't know. It'll probably be what I'm on for PQ season. So just want to start getting my reps in with it now.
Hell yeah. I took the week off. I'm probably going to have to take a few weekends off here just in between the competitive RTNs / PQ season here.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little break, brother.
I know it's been a while since I actually didn't play in an armory.
Mm-hmm.
Plus I owe it to my family, to be honest. I was had my head sunk in the books, for a few weekends there leading up to RTNs. I actually feel like I have the deck finally where I want it though. Like I cannot wait for PQ season.
Nice.
So yeah, just looking forward to it. Some well-deserved R&R this weekend though. Probably next weekend I'll have to take off too. Maybe even the next weekend after that. But then we have Heavy Hitters Team Sealed planned for our locals. So
yeah, we're gonna be the 3-man squad team.
If you guys are gonna be there, I figured that's kind of what we would do. Yeah, it'd be us three. And
there.
we'll have people show up if they want to have a team of 3 already. They show up. If you don't have a team, we'll just randomly select, or you make a team, or whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yep, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's been a hot minute since we've done Team Sealed.
Yep.
For me, I pretty much finished up my Kasai. Started ripping on that. Just getting reps in for PTQ season. But other than that, just ripping the Star Wars Legion card game.
Yeah.
Speaking on card games.
We just got done playing our first game right before recording, and it was fun.
The mechanics are very simple, very straightforward. No, like.
Feels a little like Lorcana, where it's like kind of a breath of fresh air, where you're like, it's not very stressful. It doesn't feel very stressful.
No.
It's fun too. It's Star Wars. Like if you're a Star Wars head, and a card gamer, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's fun. I enjoy it. Recommend it to everybody out there if you want to try to get into one. The starter decks, will say they have special cards in them that you can only get from the starter deck. So like the hero Luke, the hero
That's what Ben thinks is the play.
the hero Vader. Some of the
I
other
didn't think it'd be
cards.
so loud. I'm sorry.
No, we know how you feel towards other card games not named Flesh and Blood.
Dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Although it sounds like I might be getting dragged back into Magic, kicking and screaming.
By who?
So, okay. One of my coworkers' husband is like really into Magic. And I was talking with a different coworker about like what my plans were, and I'm like, yeah, I got a podcast for card gaming. And she's like, oh, my husband's really into Magic. And so she got us in a group chat with him, and he's been talking to me about Magic for like the
Don't do
last
it,
2
Cliff.
days.
Don't do it.
So when
Come
are
play
you
Star
able
Wars
to play
with
some
us.
Commander? And I'm like, oh no, this can't be happening.
You still got Scarab
Really,
God built.
I do still have Scarab God build, so I can just go over and just create a bunch of tokens and maybe make them hate me enough.
That they just don't invite you back?
No, you should just play
Yeah,
Star Wars.
although from what it sounds
say
like, I might
Starvo?
get my
Star Wars.
might get my
You should just
ass
play Star
kicked.
Wars. Bailey.
No, I'm gonna slowly try to convert them into Flesh and Blood, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. Well, boys, do you want to just kind of get right into this? We can start
Yeah.
with our first guest here.
Let's get our first guest in.
We're gonna go with one of our longtime locals, one of our better players, maybe if not the best. We're not gonna let him hear us say that, of course, but
Not until he listens.
not
to the
until he
episode.
listens. He'll have to listen back. But he has played in Pro Tours. One of our probably most technical players. You know, we've
Yes.
learned a lot of different things from him. I would say he single-handedly has upped our game
Absolutely.
at our shop in terms of competitiveness.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's get him in here. Here is Carter Barton. Then you can like cut all this
shit.
in, and then we'll.
I sent him to the wrong channel.
Howdy.
What's up?
Hey,
Hello,
Carter.
hello.
What's up, guys?
Not much. How's your night going?
We're doing all right.
Good.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, man. We have just a few questions prepared for you. I wanted to talk a little bit about RTNs too with you because I know you top 8'd with your pet deck, Arachne. So maybe wanted to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, let's just get right into it.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? And
Sounds good to me. Hello, everyone. This would be my technical first time on the podcast. My name is Carter Barton, hailing from ye old great state of Minnesota with the rest of these Canucks.
whoa, let's not go slinging slurs around here.
Slinging slurs, yeah.
Hey, what are you talking about? Yeah, I've been playing the game for about a year and a half to 2 years at this point. I started off a little bit after Everfest was released. My first experience with the game, I bought a box of Welcome to Wraith before I left for college. I believe the summer of 2021 or 2022. Things, dates and whatever. But it really wasn't until that following year that I learned how to play the game. Shout out to my friends, Steven and Braden. They lent me a deck every week for armory events for about 2-3 months until I finally settled on playing Chain. Runeblades and Assassins are kind of my bread and butter, but I definitely started the game playing just about everything. So definitely have a very, very good basis as a player, being able to understand the playstyles of other heroes that
Yeah.
I don't play as often.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I feel like you've played pretty much every Runeblade, right? I mean, even down to Briar back when you hated playing her.
yeah, I've definitely dabbled in all 4 Runeblades.
Yeah.
Chain to a very, I won a Pro Coast with Chain. I won a skirmish with Viserai before he hit Living Legends.
Ooh, was that when he was like just OTKing people in Blitz?
Yes.
Yeah,
Helped push him to 501 points.
Oh yeah.
Which was pretty cool. I played Briar a little bit. Out of all the Runeblades, Briar probably was my least favorite.
Yeah, I know. I know you've always said that.
Like, it was just kind of funny, right? Because the deck
You just weren't playing the right combo.
yeah, it was a very strong deck. And then Vincent, which I piloted to a 5-3 finish at the Las Vegas Calling, which was
Not too
hilarious
shabby.
because
That's not too shabby.
the number of people I had read my hero card was
On
way too
Vincent?
many. Yeah, it was so funny.
She was pretty fresh in the meta too at that point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I had an Icelander try and respond to my hero ability, and I had to call a judge and explain to them that's the start of the turn.
Yep. It's like Shyano, right? Like it's not during the action phase, so there can't be priority pass or whatever.
But yeah, Runeblades are definitely my bread and butter. But recently, I've been landing on Assassin.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you what is your favorite class? Would you say? I know like Runeblades, like you said, have been kind of your go-to. Maybe class hero.
I think it's the type of thing where Runeblades is a safe answer, right? Like I'm always gonna kill for a Mavirian Skies into a Shrill the Skull form, right? Like I could kill for a 2 for 7 go again with an on hit. Like,
pretty good.
Chef's kiss, but recently I've definitely been putting the reps in Assassin. I like the aesthetic of Assassins more than I do Runeblades, but I like the playstyle of Runeblades more than I do Assassin. So,
do you want to maybe go into how the RTNs went with the deck you chose?
Yeah, absolutely. I competed in all 3 Minnesota RTNs this season, top 8ing the draft RTN and the RTN at Dumpster Cat Games. At the Dumpster Cat Games RTN, I played Arachne Huntsman, finishing with a 4-2-1 record for the day, losing in top 8 to the 6-0 Swiss player. It was Dylan Dietz on Kasai. Really, really good events. Playing a deck that a lot of people really didn't account for. You could definitely see people hadn't really put the reps into the matchup at all.
Yep.
And I definitely think I got a few wins off of just people not really understanding what to do in them. But at the same time, the competition was still really good. It's not like I had any free wins. I really had to fight for every point of damage and every card banished off the top in order to even make top 8 with a squeak on 8th seed.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. I mean, you got there with a tie too, right?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
You don't see that often, I don't think.
No.
But no, it does go understated, I think, just with how the surprise factor of these less played heroes, like the advantages you can actually get in these open fields where you go to these RTNs with a lot of, I don't want to say because I mean you have your competitive players that show up to these, but you also have the players that are just there because they're trying their foot at it too, and you can kind of half the room maybe has never played an Arachne like you're saying, and you definitely get some percentage points just on that alone.
A little bit of the X factor,
Yeah.
It's the same thing in other card games. Sometimes a deck just shows up to a tournament, no one's put reps into it, and you immediately get 5-10% on your wins as a result of that. So
you're originally a Magic player, right? Is that was that your origin story? Like most of us is originally a Magic player.
Yeah, I've played Magic for a while. I play casually now, not competitively, but I was a mono red burn player for 3 years.
I remember you showed up with a mono red commander deck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember that deck.
Definitely played aggro, right? So that transitioned into being a chain player when I started playing Flesh and Blood seriously.
Yeah, imagine that.
I mean, it turns out the guy who's used to drawing 1 card a turn in Magic and trying to kill his opponent by turn 4, otherwise he loses the game, is happy when he gets a new hand every time and exponentially increases his damage output as the game goes on.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, with another question here, Carter. How about what is your highlight or fondest memory in Fab?
So it's funny, right? For I guess listeners who didn't know, you guys tried to have people on and do this previously, but we had some audio difficulties, right?
Thanks for the reminder.
Yes, Mr. Bailey.
No, it's not an insult at all. Like, it's just editing software, whatever. You gotta love that kind of stuff.
No, you got to tell the story again. It was pretty great.
Yeah. In terms of like actually like in-game moments playing Flesh and Blood, my all-time favorite moment was being at Pro Tour Baltimore. I was 0-3 in the Swiss CC rounds. Going into the fourth round, I got paired into an Oldhim. Really nice player from across the pond. I believe his name was George. Really cool guy. He's playing Oldhim. I'm playing Azuri, and we get to the point in the game where he brought Anathos in, which for Azuri only having 10 players representing her at Pro Tour Baltimore, Anathos was like one sideboard slot where the Guardians brought it in, and it just like basically won the matchup single-handedly. He's at 2, and I have like 8 or 9 cards left in my deck, and it's like a bunch of blue shreds and like blue isolates, and I have very, very little damage output. He swings his Anathos at me with his final blue in hand, having no resources remaining, and I look at the Plague Hive in my hand and my equipment piece, which is the Vambrace, and so I block with a 3-block and Vambrace, and I pitch the Plague Hive with Vambrace. And
so good.
He looks at my pitch and he goes, "Oh, I see where this is going." So, I put the tokens out and I go, "All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you have a dice? Because this is the type of thing that you don't want to roll your own for this, right?"
Oh no, you let him seal his fate, right?
Yep. Roll the dice. It's 5, 6. Give him a blood rot token. Block all the damage. He dies at the end of his turn.
Oh, that is incredible.
1 and 3, baby. We represent, because I'm losing that game.
I mean, you're at a pro tour, right? Like, 0-3, you're still playing. Like, fuck, and that's your first win at a pro tour off a Plague Hive. Like, I mean, that's pretty.
It felt good.
That's pretty incredible, dude. Like,
It felt so good after getting paired into Drobai.
I don't know if I have a crazy moment like that. That's like crazy.
I couldn't name a moment like that.
Yeah. In Flesh and Blood, in playing Flesh and Blood, that was my probably most hype moment. But outside of the game, obviously I play here locally in Minnesota, and I love this play group. I love playing with you guys, and it's awesome going to Legends on Main and seeing everyone every week. But needless to say, I also have that crew in Utah, right? That I had for college.
Yep.
That I played with, and when I had finally graduated, my week before graduation, we had one final armory at Riftgate Games in Utah, and it was really funny. Nathan, the store owner, and I had been kind of getting closer as friends, and I convinced him to start holding Flesh and Blood events, because I'm like, man, if you hold CC events, there's a gap right now in the schedule that everyone would flock to. So we had, I think it was a 16-person armory CC event, and the event name was like, basically it was I'll pull it up my profile. It's like I think it was the Beat Carter Armory or something like that. Like Carter Send-Off Armory.
We have a couple of those at our armory too.
Yeah, don't worry.
But yeah, like, it was super fun. I played Viscerai for old time's sake.
Nice.
It was just a super fun night. I had everyone sign a playmat, and then a lot of the guys hooked me up with I actually have them over here. It's Lava Vein Loyalty, the common from Uprising, and all the guys who were there signed a copy of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, moments like that, man, like I could never imagine like even Legends shutting down and like having there be a last armory. Like that would just be the saddest moment of all time. So like I could feel how that could be a special moment for you for sure.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't talk with these people anymore. It's not like I don't see them because I see them at bigger tournaments.
That's good. Hell yeah, that's good that you can keep in contact.
Yeah, that send off meant a lot to me.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. All right, we have one more, or I have one more for you. I wanted to know what hero you are leaning towards for ProQuest season. I know we have a little lull here, but
So, needless to say, I always keep I keep circling around to Arachne somehow, but
Yep.
for my own sanity, I think I'm gonna put that deck on the shelf for ProQuest season upcoming. This past Armory, this last Saturday, I played Viscerai, piloting a list that my friend Elias won a RTN event last weekend with.
Nice.
Needless to say, definitely a different style that I've played. Is not a OTK Turtle Burst kind of deck.
Yep, that's what I was just about to ask.
So two Viscerai players won last weekend. One piloting a turtle burst deck, and then my friend Elias won with kind of more mid-rangey aggressive Viscerai. He hasn't posted the deck list, but needless to say, he has a couple of cards in there that I've never ever seen played in Runeblade, and it just works. It felt really good. Even bricking like regular Runeblade hands where you draw like all the non-attack actions or all the attack actions, it still felt fine.
Yeah.
The deck is a bunch of 3 blocks. It's just all value town. It has this weird game plan where you basically get to chain back to back to back 5-card hands with arsenals, which is just nuts. Really, really solid deck. I'm definitely leaning towards it. And it's really funny because the Utah crew that I play with, their team name is the Meeps. And everyone on the team has been raving about this Viscerai deck. And there's a big chance that all of them are going to be bringing it to Pro Tour Los Angeles coming up here.
Is Meeps in the list? Does it make the cut or?
No. That's just the team name.
Okay.
They have all the...
Okay.
Thought it was they call them
Secret Spice.
Yeah. Nah, I wish. But needless to say, really cool list. Viscerai is definitely kind of my bread and butter.
Yeah, leave it to the Legends on main crew to show up with Viscerai and Teklo and Riptides and fucking
some random shit.
Love it.
Love it. You gotta keep people honest, right? Nullrune armor has to be in the list somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta account for it. I think if you don't account for it, then just don't complain about it. That's all I gotta say. You see people complain about Arcane all the time, and it's like, well, just build your deck better. Like everyone has the same options.
If only there was an easy way to include something that stopped Arcane damage.
Crazy.
If only there was cards put to that.
Yeah. Well, if there's any other deck on the horizon, though, it would probably be Vincent. Maybe, I don't know.
I like it.
Imagine that, another Runeblade, Runeblade.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm sticking back to my roots, though.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Hell
yeah,
what
man.
You know.
Well, hey, listen, it was a pleasure having you on. Really appreciate you kind of staying up late with us and doing this. And yeah, giving us another shot, because I remember just kind of, I felt bummed when we lost that first recording.
Man, I felt bummed when I opened it in the editing software and it was just like toast.
Yeah.
It's always
hey man, I mean, it happens, right? Trial and error.
Yep.
So thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us, Carter. We always appreciate you, buddy.
Of course, love the podcast, and obviously, like, it's kind of a cop out because I can't even shout out Legend of the Main because you guys already do that. So, but yeah, all right, thanks, lads.
Yep.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
See you, man.
Peace.
All right. Well, next on the pod, we're gonna have another local, Nathan.
Yep. Judge.
This is our judge. We love him. We adore him. We praise him. Why don't we get him in here?
What do you think the first thing he says is?
Something about you
He's gonna
O2
rip
dropping.
And here he is.
Judge.
Welcome on, Mr. Nathan.
Hello. What's going on?
Not much.
How's it going, buddy?
Doing pretty well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, really appreciate you
Of course,
guys.
thanks
You
for
coming
being
on.
here.
Yeah, putting up with these late nights to come on.
Well,
do what you got to do, right?
we've got a couple of generic ask questions here for you, but we're gonna go through it. Nathan is, like we said, our what are you, level 1 or 2 now? You level 2?
Level 1.
Level 1.
Look to
Okay.
be level 2 by the end of the year.
All right.
Let's go.
Sweet. Our level 1 judge, we go to him for all of our judging needs.
Yeah, and then he tells me no to all the fun stuff.
Yeah, generally. It's generally why he's there.
Not my fault you're trying to cheat. And then you still lose.
Oh!
The jaw hit the floor on that one.
Judge, can I call a judge on you?
Yeah, who's gonna be the head judge for us?
No, let's just get right into it, though. How did you get into Flesh and Blood? What was your first kind of interaction with the game, and how did you, when was that moment you decided, look, I'm going to play this game?
It would have been September of 22.
Okay.
And I bought a Welcome to Wraith booster box and played sealed with my cousin a couple of times and decided that I was going to try and make friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at you
Is
now.
that a
Yeah,
success?
how's that working out for you now?
Yeah, I'm here with your dumbass. So I don't know what to tell you.
It's like a
Womp
win-lose.
womp.
Oh, yeah.
No, you kind of got stuck with us over here.
Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of leads us into our next question. How did you find out about Legends on Main? I know you drive a pretty far distance to attend our armories and stuff, and you've been coming there for almost over a year now, right? Am I correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God, it's been that damn
I was gonna
long.
try and make it out for the Christmas event, 2022.
Was that our merchant event?
I was at the merchant event the next week,
Okay.
but I was gonna try and make it the week before for the Christmas event. But the roads were not conducive to getting out there. I got 10 minutes down the road and decided that it was safest to turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Winters can be like that
Especially
in Minnesota.
winters
Sucks.
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Great White North. As
So,
some may say.
did you just hear about us on the event locator or Facebook maybe?
Facebook page.
Okay, yeah, it was probably when I was
All it
pumping
ties advertising.
Yeah, advertising like an old man on Facebook.
Hey, man, it worked. Look at us. We got a
Yeah.
PQ now.
Yeah, actually, and
A real judge.
a real judge.
Yeah.
That'll be your first real experience with judging a what do they call it? Like a level 1 event, or what do they
I think
qualify
it's
that
tier
as?
2.
Yeah, tier 2 event.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Professional rules
Forward to it.
enforcement.
Now, are you gonna have a helper, or how does that work? Are we just leaving it up to you? You're gonna be raced around with your head cut off like a chicken, or what?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'll probably try and see what the pre-registration numbers are looking like. If it's above 35 or 40, I'll probably start looking for a second judge.
Yeah, hell yeah. Cool. Well, here we have another. Let's see. Let's just fire off another one of these questions or something. Bailey, wanna?
Yeah. How about what is your highlight of your Fab career, or one of your best memories of your time playing Fab?
Game wise, it was probably one of my first wins where somebody assumed I was playing Shuko and not Heatwave. I was on red unmovable Phi, and I went Phoenix Flame for 1 into Phoenix Flame. They were at 2, said no blocks, and I went break Heatwave 2, you're dead. And they weren't overly enthralled with that.
Yeah, no,
And
can't imagine.
so they died. And it was good. I got my first win and haven't looked back since.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
You competed in at least one RTN, we know, right?
I believe I'm at exactly one
Exactly
RTN.
one. Yeah, you showed
and
up.
One calling.
Do you want to maybe go through kind of that day and how that went, maybe?
Yeah. I decided that I was going to play at the RTN at 9 a.m. that day. And was like, well, what decks do I have that are as close to being done as I can? And decided I was going to play Katsu.
Ooh.
Round 1, I got paired into a Azuri and got shredded to death.
Literally.
That was the joke, Bailey. That one. Round 2, I got paired into an Olympia and went to Fatigue and fatigued him out. Don't know how I did it, but I did. Round 3, I got paired into a Victor. And turn 0, I went Kodachi. He blocked with a red Slogism. And I went, we're playing that game today.
Weird. I couldn't find Victors with a 10-foot pole, dude. God. Swear to God.
It was crazy. I played 3 or 2.
I'm telling you.
Shit.
Teklo's such a sleeper right now. Such a sleeper.
He should stay in bed.
Dude, he's so good into so many things.
And he's really bad into others.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And so, yeah. And then I think he tried to clash with me like 8 times during the game. He won 1 of them.
Wow.
What?
He trounced me, and I won it.
Wow.
Flipped a blue whelming gust
go.
wave, and he flipped a non-attack, so I won the first one. Sent those to the bottom. I flipped my command and conquer, and he flipped a non-attack, and so I won that one. So
Dude,
got all the tokens off of that.
That's so good.
Yeah, dude, it was lit. And then
I guess
think
that's
the
what you get
remainder
for
of
playing
my
Victor, though.
is-
Like, there is the chance that you just give your opponent the shit, I guess, you know? It's like a small chance, but it's the risk you run, I guess.
Shouldn't be running so many non-attacks.
No, it was good seeing you. I remember, like, I didn't think you were coming, and then you just show up, you know, like you're fucking Mr. Cool Guy with your shades. I'm like, this son of a bitch, you know? I'm like, God.
Yeah, dude.
I was so, I to be honest, I thought you were going to be on some sort of Ranger, like that weird Riptide deck you brought, or some weird...
Command and conquer pile?
Yeah, just whatever that was that day you and I played. But that kind of leads me into my next
How did that
hero.
game turn out?
I believe you won. I believe I had like 3 unmovables in hand or some bullshit, or like a bunch of sinks in an unmovable red.
Yep.
After transforming. Like,
yeah.
You just board those out in that matchup. But actually, I think I cut those cards entirely. But anyways, what would you say? It's funny, like, I feel like a lot of our locals play crazy, weird, like, out of the meta decks.
Yes.
Our local meta tends to be kind of crazy, kind of wild.
There really isn't one.
And it's we play a lot of different things, so you don't see a lot of the same decks showing up. But what would you say is your favorite hero or maybe class in the game?
So I grew up playing Fi. He was kind of the first one, but after causing, I think, 2 people to leave the game shortly after I started playing Fi, put him on the bench for a little while. And then with the release of Heavy Hitters, Olympia kind of struck me as thematically a fun hero. So I've decided
how's that been working out?
See what I mean?
Decided I'm going to make Olympia my entire personality from now until we'll see. And so far, I brought him to 1 armory and went 2-0, and then I dropped. So, you know, the opposite of Bailey. And
Just dropping bombs over here, dude.
Just casually eviscerates a guy and continues talking.
It's fine. He doesn't have a special playmat for his record.
How are we gonna handle this? He's the judge. We can't. It's like
Can't have
he's abusing his power.
Don't worry.
I'm gonna need like my own personal judge.
Okay.
Nathan,
We got other
if
things
I
to
go
over
0-2
once.
at our PQ, at our PQ, I want you to kick me out. I want you to just ban me from the event.
But no, so yeah, and then I've been playing him a little bit. I was on Decimator for that first armory, and now I'm building a dual axe, and then I've got.
How's that one working out? Because the only one I've really tried with him is Decimator.
Dual axe is pretty wild. I mean, getting to run 9 Blade Runners is good. Turns out.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, Blade Runner's kind of a good card.
It is. So I've been playing around with that. The other one I've been playing around with is a Hot Streak Quicksilver Dagger Dory build.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude.
Go again.
Doesn't the thing attack for like fucking 1 or something?
Yes.
Yeah, the Quicksilver Dagger. So the math on it, right?
It's not
Is
good.
Hot Streak. If they block with an attack, both of your weapons can go again for the entire turn.
Okay.
If they don't block with an attack, presumably they're either trying to block it out, and then you just give it go again with a Blade Runner, and then Quicksilver Dagger has go again, and who blocks a one cost.
That's actually true. You could
Or,
probably leak a
1
lot of
power.
damage that way and just react, afterwards.
It's Kodachi lock, but better.
Yeah, because you're right. Who blocks the
Well,
1? That's annoying.
It's something.
Yeah, that's at least annoying. I could see where the potential is. But yeah, leave it up to
and
you
then
to play some fucking some crazy weird shit. That's like everyone. Everyone has that personality at our shop. I just kind of love that.
But yeah, those are the decks I've been kind of working with. I've been playing around with a Sword Shield Olympia as well, but haven't put too much time into that.
Is that the Bastion with the Bastion
Yeah.
shield? Nice.
Bastion of Unity?
Yep.
Huh.
Will you be playing in any pro quests? I know you're judging ours, but are you
Nope.
playing? You're not going to be playing in any of them.
Well, not unless I decide at like 9 a.m. to pull up
If you were to play in one, who would you play?
Olympia.
Nice. Hell yeah,
That's
dude.
quick.
I like
That
it.
was quick.
Join the warrior crew, Nathan. Not that you
I've
already
been on the
have.
warrior
I know,
crew.
not that you already have, but
I think
I'm
we might
glad.
road trip on the 13th next month, Nathan. A couple of us guys.
Is that the Fargo one?
Yeah, or maybe Eau Claire.
Eau Claire.
Yeah, one of the two. Anyways,
It's like a blast.
yeah, it should be fun.
What about for us, Mr. Judge, man? You got any questions for us?
Well, I got a couple of questions. First,
I don't like the way
first
he
off,
said that.
Tyler,
Is that the timer?
I'd like to hear about your worst blitz loss.
Oh, you might have to remind me. I'm guessing it's a game that you and I played, right?
This feels so targeted.
Oh, it sure is.
I know it feels like a trap. Let me think.
I wasn't playing Riptide on this one. I think I was
Let
on
me think.
5.
Hold on. Let me think. Yes, this was recent, right? This was like last month or the. What
Yep,
were you playing?
yeah.
He was on Phi,
Okay.
and I was on Professor Teklevassen.
Sure,
Like Prof,
sure, yeah.
like Prof from YouTube Prof, And yeah, I got smoked. I think by turn 2, I was just dead. Didn't deal
Holy
a single
shit.
damage. I don't think.
What was? Yeah. I was gonna say, what was the ending life total?
I think it was 20-0.
woof.
Sure
Woof.
was. And did I destroy your singularity?
Yeah, I think I had a block with it, right?
Nope. I destroyed it from Arsenal.
Breaking point?
Breaking point.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard. Oh, that's right. He breaking pointed it. Yes, I remember now. You breaking pointed it, and I had the remembrance in hand. So
You sure did.
I cheekily played remembrance and shuffled it back up, and I'm just looking at him with this scowl, like, you son of a bitch, because it didn't matter. Like, I got it back. Like, haha, I have your trap card, Kaiba. And it's like, no, I was just dead anyways. I was at like 2 or 3 or some bullshit. But
That's hilarious.
yeah, did not go my way. Yeah. Did not go my way. Wait, where? What was the question in there?
There wasn't a question.
Oh, okay.
He just wanted you to humiliate yourself.
Oh, sure.
I had a feeling this is how this was going to go. I
Nathan
kinda
just
regret
showed
asking
up to roast us and have us put it out as an episode.
Hey, Cliff,
That's all
what's the deal?
did.
Hey,
What's the deal, Cliff?
I haven't been
I
toasted
hear a
once.
lot of big talking from you about all the crazy decks you're gonna bring, and then you just roll up on some basic ash dash list.
Bro, don't even talk to me. I know. I got talked out of it. I got talked down.
You're a coward.
I
we
am.
talked him off
You're
the
right.
ledge. You could partly blame me for that.
it. No, he needed to play Dash.
I think he
How
just
many-
needed to
how many-
not play so many weird
Just
items.
so I could get my teeth absolutely shattered.
No, you should have
Yeah.
played the dash list that has the pistols and the chambers, and you can just do that against the decks that need it.
That's the bitch list. I'm gonna
No,
be
it's-
honest.
That's the list that wins.
I know. I said it last week. That's probably the best dash.
You
list.
actually did say
However,
that. You did say that.
I refuse to play that list because it's not how I want to play Flesh and
It's not
Blood.
Cliff. It's not Cliff.
It's not
It's
Cliff
not me,
unless
like-
there's at least one Son's Wish in there somewhere.
I thought I'm not going to say anything.
Also,
nothing.
how many armories have you won on Data Doll?
Oh, this is a good
Shit.
question. You see, I have won approximately 0 armories.
Oh, crazy.
Approximately.
How many?
And I'm going to put this out there just on the record. When did you pick up that at all, my man?
Like,
Probably that morning.
So,
morning at 9 a.m.
Would it be a safe thing to say then?
yeah, dude, Datadol's good. I don't know what to tell you, but you
Thank
still somehow
you.
managed to not be able to win on it.
Oof.
All right, watch your mouth.
I was at that armory, and I was just watching it the whole time, and I just kind of knew in the back of my head Nathan was gonna win, and like,
Yep.
I just knew it.
He's
I
so
was like
good.
looking at the shenanigans that was happening and the amount of items he had, and it just like I think you played
so out of
Arachne,
hand so
I
quick.
did play in an Arachne.
you know, which is
and
like
Banish my items.
there's no chance that's like, you know, not just a free fucking matchup for Datadol. But
I will say that right after that, Cliff called me a scrub and then was in the DMs asking for the list. So
Yeah, I was. I called you a scrub, and then I was like, but he knows.
dude, I feel like this
No,
is
that's
just the
good
roast
shit,
of
though.
the BDE cast.
It
Okay, do
really
Josh
is.
next. Do Josh.
He's got nothing on me.
see,
He's got
the hard
nothing
part
on
about
me.
doing Josh is he's just literally never around.
Ooh,
That's true.
Ooh,
So,
low
like-
blow. Just has a kid.
Yeah.
You fucker being a dad.
You know, I don't.
Piece of
Good
shit.
for him. You know, I admire that as as an individual. But you know, Tyler's a dad too, so clearly
Yeah, I
there's
just get
Yeah,
away with
he's
more.
even got like
I just get
triple
away
the
with
amount
more.
of kids.
I just get in more trouble than Josh is what it is.
Hey, I don't want to feel the wrath of that, so
Oh,
I just sit
dude,
back
I
and
just
let it
put
ride.
up with more of it.
The last question I have for you, Nathan, is the Soraya up for trade?
Is the Soraya for trade? Unfortunately, I did sell it.
Damn it! Damn it!
Marvel?
But
Yeah.
yeah,
You trying to get the Marvel off him?
No,
Oh.
still trying to get that one off of you.
I got 2 now. So all you, brother.
All right,
All right, Judge.
I'll keep
Well,
that in mind.
thanks for hopping on with us tonight and staying up and dealing with our craziness.
Anytime.
Really appreciate having you on and appreciate having you a part of this community. So
Absolutely.
Absolutely, brother.
All right,
From
boys,
the bottom
time
of
for
my
me.
heart, thank you for popping on and roasting the hell out of all of us.
yeah, that
So
was
go
good.
ahead and go on your merry way, you judge
Time
man.
for me to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
As
there you go.
always,
There you go.
it's a pleasure.
Man, who invited this guy? Get him out of here.
What just happened, dude?
All right, that's the end of the episode. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Yeah, no shit. Let's get Zach in here now. Our
Goddamn
next.
hostile takeover.
Oh, he's already in here.
Okay.
The next guy
Um,
needs no introduction. Nah, I guess he probably does. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Zach.
I'm Zach. I was a local player and then I moved over to New Zealand. So I'm doing the New Zealand fab scene for a little bit, and I've been playing for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. So, yeah.
To the homeland.
Are you playing
Yeah.
over there now? Is there like armories?
I will be.
Oh, is there,
Ooh.
is
Yeah,
there
there's a-
armories
there's
in the
a
home
couple
country of
ProQuest near
Flesh and
me.
Blood? I wonder.
That's not what I was asking, Bailey. I was just wondering if he's still, going to be playing fab over there.
Sorry.
Yeah, I brought my Prism deck,
Good.
so we're all ready to go.
Good.
Oof.
Have you played it much down there?
No, it's just been there's one on Saturdays that I know of, and I know where the store is and everything like that. I just haven't been able to make it yet. Only been here for a week, so it's on the list of things to do before ProQuest season. Play a couple of those, maybe something good happens, and
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
What is ProQuest season like down there? Is there quite a few firing around you?
There's one for sure that I know of, like in the city I'm in, and then I'm sure there's going to be others that I could travel to if I wanted to. But yeah, we'll see what happens, how my schedule goes.
Yeah.
But try to play as much as I can.
Thinking you'll be able to make it out to the one at least?
Yeah. There's one for sure. I should be able to make 2, and then hopefully like 1 or 2 more. But
Nice.
We have to get this man a shirt.
not-
On
Yeah,
Prism?
we do.
yeah, the Prism is the only deck I have, so that's where we're going with now.
Ooh, hey, the big question with that deck is, did you cut Iris?
Yes, I am off Iris. I'm mono lag.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just Yeah.
And what's the verdict on the deck? Because every time I play against it, it does feel like you're playing against Old Prism. Feels very much like Old Prism.
It's very similar to Old Prism, but like rather than just like the aura game plan of like being able to always like chip in damage, you're not like really chipping in damage. You're more or less like snowballing a board state, and then you're controlling that board state to do like bigger chunks of damage. So it's kind of a different game plan, but like the thought process around it is I think pretty similar. In the fact that like, hey, I want to set things up. It's okay to take damage because your tempo swings are so big that you like create health off of angels that have ward, and then you're dealing with threat like with an ALS or a Genesis out. If you're a Guardian player, you have to take care of that, or you pretty much die.
Yeah.
So there's ways to work around some things. It can be really tense, getting down to 8, 9, 7 health and being like, okay, cool, here I go. If this doesn't work out, I'm dead. But it's been a lot of fun playing that deck.
Yeah. With the new Prism, do you think so? Like cutting the iris, right? Do you think that, like, what's your aura count after cutting iris? Do you still play some of like the parables and like some of those, the mercifuls, or did you cut most of those? Or
So merciful, I think, is the best card in the deck because in popper matchups or anything like that, it allows you to like trigger stuff into soul, which allows you to trigger prism, which is going to get you that board state generation pretty well.
Yeah, you can
ALS
just put a
is
Herald,
great into
right?
Guardians. Yeah. So like if it gets popped, it goes into soul, and like you're not running any other attack actions that aren't heralds. You're not running your metamorphs. You're not running your fractals. Any of those other cards Old Prism could get away with because she really only cared about illusionist cards. So it's a different, it's a lot tamer of a build, and I'm running Passing Mirage and Pierce Reality, but like Shimmers, Haze Bending, Parable, Ode, like I'm not running those, and then like ALS, Genesis, sideboard
you
options,
and
just
have those, right?
Yeah, like Genesis is super nice because if you're playing Genesis, allows you to enable like playing Tome of Divinity, which allows you to play Vestige of Soul, and like all 3 of those cards kind of synergize and work off of each other. And in doing so, you can really snowball some turns and create you create that heavy board state that you have to deal with. If you don't deal with it, Prism's going to snowball you.
Yeah. Speaking of snowballing, were you playing the Tome of Divinity before, like the new aggro style? Because I know a lot of Prisms weren't, and now people are playing that card again and seeing the power of that when you put a Herald in and then you just pitch 1 blue for it. It's very strong.
Yeah, so I was playing Tome of Divinity, and when we got the really bad Luminaris, I had a Tome of Divinity deck that was lots of blues, Genesis, ALS, like things like that, and it's like similar type of like almost this like tempo aggro plan that New Prism's on now with an actual weapon. So I dusted off that shell and I re-put it in, and I've been testing around with that, and then I also been testing the build with Tunic for the Guardian and Brute matchup, and then rather than running Tome and Genesis, you're just running ALS and Merciful, and you're just almost trying to get that value generation with Celestial Reprimands coming in to deal with, like, if they come in with a popper that you can, be able to get that minus attack on, and then sneak in some damage, sneak in your search, and go from there. It's a nice play.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into another question here, Zach. How did you get into Fab? What brought you to the game?
Yeah. So I got in through Fab through my brother. So this was back in 2021 around like Thanksgiving time. I was at his place for Thanksgiving, and we were, needed something to do in between, all the meals that you're eating. And we've both been card game players on and off since our childhood. And he was pretty big into Magic, and over time kind of got out of Magic and found Flesh and Blood and introduced it to me. And he had a box of Tales that we opened with a friend of his, and we just, rather than doing like actual sealed, we did like one person will be the Guardian, one person will be the Ranger, and then one person can be Briar on the Runeblade, and we all 3 of us built decks. And then I played, the first deck I ever built was a terrible Oldham deck, but it was like I learned like how to play tempo and block out and things like that, and I just enjoyed the play patterns. And then I came back to my place and was like, okay, cool, let's learn more about this game. Found Prism, so this was before Everfest, before she was completely broken, just enjoyed that play pattern. Everfest came out, all 27 aura builds, blue auras, things like that, and been playing ever since.
Would you say Prism is probably your favorite hero in the game, hands down?
Yeah, I like new Prism more than old Prism.
Really?
I've been enjoying
Ooh, that's a
I
hot-
like
that's
I
a hot
like
take.
hot take. Yeah.
I think it is. I like the angels. Like I think the angels are a lot of fun to play. I think like the creativity and this like which ones you tutor and when and like how you set them up and like you create that board state in a different way. But old Prism was pretty much just puke out a bunch of auras, do something, and eventually you get there. And it was just like there seems like there's a little bit more agency on me as like the player that I can kind of control and dictate how this is going to be.
Yep.
And I like that.
The new angel.
I think old Prism was really good, and I think because she was just so strong, like it took away some of the like creativity you could have.
Yeah. The thing that I hate about the new angels is you can't pop them when they attack, right? So you have to deal with them on your main phase. So it always like takes up one of your turns, or you like try to attack them and then they just gain the 4 life or prevent 4 damage. So it's always worth at least 4,
Yeah, I mean, I think like there's the argument that like just attack face to Prism. If they want to keep the angel around, they're gonna have to like block with cards from hand.
Yep.
So like I think it forces the Prism into like a play pattern. Like I've seen a lot of time. Like I think Bravo is like the perfect example in this meta. Like if Bravo is aggro enough, he can go face into Prism and he should probably be winning that like 60-40. Just because he has the damage, he has the numbers. In Prism, you're running like 20 non-blocks with your instants between Celestial Reprimands, Auras, whatever else you're on.
That's actually a lot of
Figments don't block.
It is.
Yeah, so you're on like 20 to 25 non-blocks.
Wow.
Which in old Prism was fine because you just had Soul Shield and a bunch of other things that you had like the pitch outlet for. But like now, like you don't really have that same pitch outlet and you don't have the Spectral Shields to absorb damage. So like you have to play a different type of defensive style.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get another question in here.
Yeah. What would you consider to be like the highlight of your Fab career? Like, what's one of your best memories playing the game?
I remember like when I first started playing, I was just a random armory I showed up to, and I was playing a Katsu, and at this point in time, I've never beaten a Katsu. Like I understood like how to play against it, but like with old Prism, like you didn't really have the same way to go aggro that you do now with new Prism. But like I was able to just play a nice back and forth game, and by the end of it, I think it was like 2-1 for like 3-4 turns, and I was finally able to get position, like play out like an ALS, like set something, and then like my next turn, I was like finally able to go over the top and like get the win. And that was, it was just a fun way to like learn a matchup and like actually get a win, and just like it was enjoyable. And I think at the time it was nice to have those armor events. And I think this is one of my favorite things about like Legends is like their armor events where it's just not like people aren't trying hard to like get the promos. They want to be there just to play the game, and like that's like half the enjoyment of the game for me is just like that community aspect of coming together with people who are like-minded, enjoy playing the game, and just enjoying it when you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of a...
We're kind of going off that, man. How'd you hear about Legends? What got you over to that circle?
Yeah, you're... Oh, well, I mean, obviously now you're a ways away, but you were driving like an hour-ish, weren't you?
Yeah, I was driving about like 35 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on traffic and the weather. But I heard about you because I think Tyler showed up to like an RTN or a skirmish or something, and he was talking about like, oh, we go play Legends down in Waterton. And I remember there was this like, I don't know where this came from, but everyone's like, oh my god, Waterton, it's like 2 hours away. It's really not. So like, but like also at the same time, that Viral was still running Saturdays at like 1 p.m. and I would go to that armory consistently. But once they kind of fell off, I'm like, I want to like play this game on Saturday because it's a free day. I don't got to worry about work. Don't got to worry about anything else. Like I want to enjoy this game. And Tyler was over there. Ran into Carter a couple times. Like so, I knew a couple of the players over there. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna show up. It's gonna be a good time. I get to play Flesh Blood, and then just really enjoy the community that you guys have built over there.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, it always seemed like we had some good talks with you, and you kind of just join the community and fit right in, you know?
Yeah. It's good to have that. Like, I mean, like, you can have the competitive community, which is great, but like I like our group. Like, there, like you mentioned it, I feel like every week it's like, oh, there's this team of us that play at Legends. It's not like one of you's like testing off on the side, not telling people the secret tech. It's like, no, you guys are all like brainstorming ideas off each other, helping each other with play lines. I think like that's how you get better at a game, and that's how you get better at as like a community, and like you grow something that you enjoy.
That's why it always sucks when we get paired into each other at like RTNs and stuff, man.
No, I know. I think that is very important, though, going off of like what you said, Zach. Like, we are very open with just helping each other with deck lists, or even giving each other deck lists. Like, I've helped a lot with a lot of our players' deck lists, and just like helping with sideboarding plans, or just like even trying to like give people my Tekla list. I'm like just trying to give it out like pieces of candy. Like, someone play this. I promise it's like the best deck right now, but no one's biting.
Would you say that's what you love most about Fab, Zach, is the community and everybody in it, and just the aspect of the game with everyone?
Yeah, I think like for me, if I didn't enjoy the community, it would be hard for me to like show up. But I think, especially like the Minnesota scene, like you can show up, especially for those RTNs, those ProQuest, there's like bigger events that bring a lot of people in together. It's just like, and you find like obviously like you have like your closer group that you can like talk with, like, you know, and trade and like do all the other things like with like the greater community as a whole. And like, I don't know, I think it's just enjoyable that we do that. Yeah, there's the competitive aspect. Yes, I'm a competitive person, but like end of the day, like if I'm having fun, I'm enjoying myself, I'm being creative with my deck building process, and like, and I'm learning new things, like I'm going to stay invested in the game.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, yeah, it's good to hear. I got one kind of last thing here I wanted to ask. Since you will be residing in New Zealand now, are you going to catch any All Blacks games, or?
That is the plan. Yeah, I'll probably get that down in August for the fall internationals.
Very nice.
So looking forward to that. But
Yeah.
Right now it's just club season, so
Cool, man.
yeah. Once international season goes back.
Well, good luck in that. You know, it's cool that you're going out there and you're going to be playing some rugby, and you know, still being able to play Flesh and Blood. We're gonna send you a shirt, and we won't charge you for shipping, of course. We'll cover that.
We got you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, as long as you wear it, okay. As long as you wear it right up to James
I'll
Wade,
wear
and you
it,
walk
don't
right
worry.
up to him with our shirt on.
Yep. Only in front of James. Though,
Hey,
that's it.
James.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, really appreciate having you on tonight. You know, thanks for putting up with our shenanigans and stuff. We kind of had you waiting there for a little while. But yeah,
It's like
always
10 in the morning for
it's
him.
always a
He's
pleasure. Yeah, right.
It's 6 at night, but you know, same difference.
fine. He's in the future too, I think.
Yeah, I'm on Monday already. I think you guys are on Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's
still.
right. That's right.
No, well, we just hit Monday. We're at midnight, all right?
Oh, fuck. Is it already midnight? Oh man.
Well, Zach,
Ugh.
thank you again for joining us. It was a great talking to you again. It's been a little bit since you left, but we always enjoy your presence.
I appreciate that. Always good to talk with you guys, and excited to see what happens for next ProQuest season and everything in the future.
Yeah, man. Hope to see you soon when you're in Minnesota. Don't forget, Legends on Main, baby.
Oh, I won't. I'll make my venture. See you guys.
See ya. Why don't we dive into the RTN season in this Battle Harden that happened this past weekend? The Battle Harden, we had. Do you got the poll up there of all the heroes at Battle Harden there, Ty?
Yeah. The hero distribution was pretty wide, like we all kind of thought. I mean, I think Pro Tour is going to look pretty similar to this. KO might be the best or most played deck, like it is here at 20, Dromai 16, Kasai 12, Levia 10, 10 Reinar. Brutes.
Shit.
I mean, you look at the Brutes are in the, top, three? That's
The Brutes
top
be
5
doing
hero,
brutish
there's 3
things.
Brutes.
Yep.
So
Brutes
if you don't
Brutes
have a
are good.
plan into Brutes, or like Blood Rush Bellow, really.
Yeah.
That new balance,
Cards a house.
that hat that lets you draw, seems really good right now.
Yeah.
With all the drawing too. And
The balance of justice is just gas.
one thing I want to note about Battle Hardened Philly was there was 3 Teklos.
Hey,
There's 3 Teklos.
How did they place?
Well, there's actually a backup one that got up on stream. They were both 0-1. In that game, he attacked with his Teklevasen and then kept going and then attacked with a tank after. And you can never do that after transforming because you don't have extra action points. And then he drew up to 4 after so a judge had to run over.
Oh,
I was just like, yikes. But
little mess, but
yeah. But it was I wish I could see these deck lists just to compare, and because there's not many competitive lists to really compare off of to see how close I am or
most
or
of the time
anything.
Legend Story Studios does not post those.
No, not the random ones that are just not placing and stuff.
Typically
right?
just the top 8.
Yeah.
So
we had 9 Kanos though, 9 Victors, 9 Dash, 8 Azalea. I mean, dude, the hero spread's crazy. It's very wide. It's
like
wide
we've
open
been
right
kind
now.
of saying for the past few weeks, it's literally anybody's game right now.
They're the clear best decks too, just like, Dromai and KO probably have the most inherent power right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kano's very powerful as well, but
If you know how to pilot
it's on a different axis. I don't know how you like.
It is. For sure. Well, why don't we get into the top 8 of the Battle Hardened? What were the top 8?
We had 3 Dromai. I know Brody and Mara both made top 8. There was actually, they played, I think, in the top 8 as well. 2 Azuri, 1 Kano, 1 Kasai, and 1 Rhinar. And 1 on Azuri.
Get her up out of here. That's another dub for her.
Yeah, I've actually kind of not minded Azuri recently, playing against her a little bit.
Well, with Teklo.
Too
bad.
At first, I kind of hated the assassin matchup because there is the potential of them. Like, I have to be careful about when I Arsenal Singularity, and there's different things that I have to do against it, like not block with my temper stuff on just any assassin attack. Just block their E-strikes and their Ravenous with my temper.
I suppose Shred.
Yeah, I just never let them have the opportunity to ever shred it.
Yep.
I just won't. I'll just block as if I don't have that armor available.
Yep.
Is how I do it. And I've actually found a lot of success that way, where I just save them for their E-strikes and their Ravenous, like I said, and works out. I mean, Arachne's a different story, though. That's kind of a fucking weird one. But
what was the final match? It was a
Azuri versus a Kano.
That's right.
Yep. 162 players. It's a pretty big one for a Battle Hardened.
It's good to see Kano kind of sprouting up.
Yeah. No, I know. It's always this controversy with Kano. Like, people really love to hate that deck, and
he's a boogeyman.
I think you could say that about any decks, pop off things they do. It's like, oh yeah, that's powerful and good and just kills people. Like, every deck has that thing. Maybe not to the extent as Kano, but
Bolton with his combo cards,
Yeah, it does a similar thing where you set up a thing and you play multiple cards and they have this ultimate effect of 30 plus, or
exactly.
It's the same type of thing. It just takes different steps to get there, right?
Cliff Stash.
It just draws a bunch of items and BIOS updates. I mean,
no response to that, Cliff? Just gonna let
calling
that one
all
ride?
yellow boom grenades. Calling all yellow
I'm
boom
just letting
grenades.
it go. I'm just letting it go.
But no, that's a good ending to the Battle Hardened, I suppose. I mean,
Hey, not much to talk about, I guess. Just the wide open field and seeing KO in the top top represented is no surprise, right?
Kind of just what we've been predicting and
I
saying
think
these past few weeks.
the Dromai KO matchup is going to be the most polarizing thing going into Pro Tour, I think.
Yes.
And how Dromai is going to deal with all the brutes,
Dromai just does not survive in a KO dominated meta.
No, I think that's actually what a lot of the pros are thinking differently,
Yep.
To be honest, they're I'm not a Dromai player, but it seems like there are some plans with illusionists playing against some of these brutes and stuff. So I don't know, man. Maybe not Prism though. Prism seems like that would just be horrendous into Reinars and KOs and stuff. But
Doesn't seem. I mean, if there's a meta where you get a bunch of guardians like Victor, you got your brutes like you were saying that are just able to pop all your stuff. It's kind of hard to face a meta.
yeah, I think Prism suffers more from poppers than Dromai.
True.
I think
True.
makes up for it with the Angels, but
Well, closing on the Battle Hardened going into RTN season.
Yeah, we just concluded this last weekend with RTNs. None of our team made the one that, most of the Minnesota players went to. Shout out Undercity Games in Eau Claire. 6 of our players, 6 of the top 8 were Minnesota players. I'll just shout those guys out: Andy Jolkowski, Dylan Dietz, Chris Dietz, Matthew Gump, Joseph Mendez, and Michael Bryant. So,
And Joseph did win the last one on Dromai, right?
I don't know if he won it. I know he qualified. I thought Nick Gabler maybe won last weekend.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I mean, it's cool that we showed up. You know, going to a tournament like that, people road tripping a little bit. I mean, it's only a couple hours, but that's still considered a road trip.
2.5.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's a road trip.
To go play cards, man, at a tournament. Yeah, dude.
That's
show up.
What is that? A freaking
Show up and show out.
11-hour day.
Good job, dudes.
Props to you guys.
Yeah,
did well. I did not. Did you guys get a graphic on the final RTN season weeks of like all the wins?
I haven't been able to find one.
No,
Neither have I.
I know the top winning deck has changed every week. I know like the last weekend was like Dromai winning the most.
Yep.
That stuff usually comes out Tuesday or Wednesday, so we kind of miss that info. Whereas other pods can be like kind of up to date on it.
Tough thing about recording on Sundays.
It is what it is, man. We miss some of it. I don't know if there's much to talk about right now, anyways. But,
no, we're kind of in the down lull time, like you were saying.
In between season.
Yep. We're gonna just chill this month at our locals. I know we have Blitz coming up this weekend. I'll probably have to do some more R&R this weekend, and we have the heavy hitters team sealed at the end of the month, so that'll be pretty good. But yeah, I think that's kind of like all we got, boys. You guys good to get the fuck out of here or what?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cliff, you have anything else on the night? All right, thank you, Cliff.
Cliff's been going through something tonight.
Oh, I thought you were an open-ended question. Sorry about that.
No, we're just asking you. Anything else you want to close on?
No, not really. Really, I'm just trying to figure out what deck I'm going to land on next, because I do kind of want to do Arachne, but for the first time since I started playing Flesh of Blood, I'm at a loss for what I want to play.
Me and Josh are like burying our freaking foreheads in these mics. Just you just play KO for ProQuest season, bro. Win a ProQuest.
No.
Go to the Pro Tour.
No.
Cliff, go to the Pro Tour. Go to Amsterdam, Cliff.
Come on.
Oh, I don't want to play KO. KO's a basic bitch. That's a basic bitch deck.
Yeah,
Shot
fair.
at you, Wesley.
Fair.
It is.
That's fair.
It's just a very clear cut. This is what this deck does. You know, there's no finagling. There's no spice. There's no taste.
Yep, there's no enchanting melodies.
I'm gonna do something gross with those. You just watch.
Okay.
Just play a deck that's gonna win at one of these things, Cliff.
True.
Like,
Oh,
Give yourself
now I'm
the
getting
best
lectured
chance.
by O2.
Give yourself the
Man.
best chance.
yeah.
All right. Well, concluding on that, why don't we, as Ty likes to say,
Get the fuck out of here.
let's do it. Thank you guys for joining us on episode 31 for this special episode, getting some listeners in. We really appreciate those guys for tuning in and helping us out on this episode. You can always join the Discord in the show notes. You can always send us an email at bigdeckenergycast@gmail.com. That is also in the show notes as well. But, as we always say, signing off. Peace.
See ya.
See ya.
Hey, Jinx,
As always,
throw me a soda.
it's a pleasure.